Hey guys, Marcel here with another interview, and we talked to Pr0lly after, I would say, like a decent week, I think. Or what are your thoughts on the week, maybe?
Pretty bad week. I'll say this was another bad one. I mean, the results didn't show it as much as last week, but I'd say the feelings are still the same, and I feel like our play was still the same.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut through it and hit you right with the hard question, right? So H2K is obviously not really living up to everyone's expectations, and probably especially not to yours. So what's the main reason for it? Like, what, from you as a coach, what can you tell us? What is happening in the team right now? Why is it so hard for you guys to actually improve as a team, maybe? Because yeah, it's not really like working out, especially like the last 2 weeks seem to be like a bit shaky.
Well, so with my coaching, I normally did like, macro-based like tenets of League of Legends, what to do. If you hit the TP advantage point, then you go bot lane and you dive the bot lane kind of thing. So now I wanted to expand our game because that style becomes really predictable and kind of suffocates your team of having any creativity, because this becomes the way you play, and then it becomes, we have to be doing this play. When in reality, there's a lot more variables in the game. So I've been kind of coaching that way because I think it's a lot better if your team can meet that high level. So right now there's just a lot of like ambiguity in our games where we want to do this call because it's good, but then this call kind of looks good too. And in reality, they're both right, but it's more of they need to like dedicate to it as 5. And a lot of these plays involve all 5 players to know what's going on. Even if it's something like ganking top, like mid lane needs to know what they're doing, and so does like bot lane. So it's, even though there's only a couple people involved in some of these plays, it really matters if all 5 players are kind of on the same page about it. So that's the way I'm trying to coach right now, because I think it's better, but now we're kind of seeing the downside of it, where like it does add creativity in the team and a bit of like unpredictability in terms of like who we're going to let carry or who we're going to focus in the game. But then at the same time, it kind of creates this like inconsistency where a lot of players will either like disagree in game, or they won't know that this is the right play, or like we're going to all go on this same play.
Yeah, I think I just want to ask, like, what needs to happen in the team right now in order to become like a contender for the title? But I guess you just answered that, where you need to be all on the same page, right?
Yeah, I think not everyone's like fully honest. When we talk about these plays being right or doing them in game, everyone's like, yeah, like sure, this is good. Or sorry, during analysis, we'll all say like, yeah, we like this. But then in game, it sounds like they're not fully convinced. They're like, why are you going over here? Like, why should we be doing this? And it's really like, didn't we just talk about how we like this play? So I think if everyone becomes a bit more, transparent in the way they feel about what we're doing on the map, because a lot of the decisions we make, it's all very democratic as a team. We like agree this is the best play to be doing right now. But then on stage, there's a bit of I guess, you're scared more on stage, you're more reserved, and this changes, how convinced they are of this play. Then now they're like, nah, we shouldn't do this play now. When in reality, we'll rewatch the game later and we'll go, what were we doing right there? Like our games yesterday, for example, we went over, we always do like a soft analysis of the day before. We don't want to do anything like too in-depth to like get people, angry or annoyed or thinking too much. So we just do like a soft analysis of things we can change like that day. And some of them were how we were reacting to side lane waves, where in the game before we'd push a wave and then we'd kind of do nothing, and then we'd see them go catch that wave and then we'd still do nothing, and then they would push that wave and then we would get pressured. So this kind of happened again today, where we were kind of gaining control of the minion waves but then not doing anything. So I think we just gotta get a lot more confidence on stage, because in scrims and when we talk about it in analysis, it's, to me, the players convince me that they like all agree and all are on the same page. But then when I listen to them on stage, it feels like there's a lot more struggle between the players when it comes to direction in the game.
Yeah, maybe I have a theory for that, right? So a lot of people, like a lot of teams, I mean, have like a very clear like play style right now, right? In terms of picks. And what I noticed with you guys is like you guys try a lot of different stuff, except like maybe the Draven, right? The Draven comes in every second game for you guys. Do you feel that maybe it's like a bit of confusion in the team if you switch up styles like too often? Where you just said that, yeah, we have top carry some games, we have mid lane carry some games, and then do you think it's maybe better to even like focus on one style right now? Because I feel in Europe especially, if you get your shit together right now, you can get the second place easily, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like this would be like the easiest like ticket into Worlds or ticket to like place highly, but at the end of it, if you're like, you're still not gonna be a good team, you're gonna, win whatever, second place, third place, first place, whatever, and then you're gonna get to like a real tournament against international players and then like get crushed. And I would kind of like to know now that we suck, and not later. Like I don't want to kind of. I mean, last year's H2K, like so we got to Worlds, we got it through the point system, and at the time we didn't really understand that we were, really miles behind other teams at Worlds. So when we got to Worlds, we pretty much just got crushed by, we played SKT EGG, so it was kind of unfair. But we were still just like not on the same level as them. A part of me wishes we didn't go to Worlds because maybe someone could have represented Europe better. Because at the time, we weren't, we had gotten there, and I would have much rather not gotten there and then gotten better than just go there because we were decent at the time. So I kind of don't want to take like a cheating route to just get some kind of placement. Like if we get where we get, it's because we're legitimately good, not because we took some, month-long strategy that will work for now and then crush us later. So I don't know. I really want to be a legitimate, like, undisputed, strong team and not really just be like, okay, we can only play X, so we just do this all the time, and then when someone bans it out, we're the worst team in the world. I'd much rather just be a bad team and then work from there. Yeah,
okay, so looking back, I think we had an interview in the first week where I asked you questions about Freeze, where I asked, so what does Freeze bring to the table? And you told me that he will fit a lot in better as a team, like as a teammate, and give you a lot more options in the draft, for example, and team play, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas Forgiven had like a really, I would say, like very easy style where he just always would go forward, right? And it was like a really lane dominant style. Like looking back in this half of the split, like do you think that that statement still stands true, that you have a lot more diversity with Freeze, or do you think that it's basically just like you just plug in one player and have like another version of Forgiven in a way?
Not as much, because things like I have talked to Freeze and been like, let's give up this wave to go take Drake, and he'll say yes. So that kind of play like matters a lot to me, because it's like, who cares about these numbers? And that's always like a really hard point to get across to players, that like, certain statistics don't really add up to shit. It kind of matters how you're playing as a team. So I would say like the flexibility is still there a lot, especially when we're trying to play Ashe, and we haven't played Jhin, have we?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, well, whatever. If you just look at our solo queue, we play Jhin, whatever. So yeah, so we're still kind of playing these newer champions that are, the AD carries aren't like high DPS really, they're more of like utility catch, and they work really well in pick comps. So that kind of ability is good for me, because I kind of like it that way. Like where we don't have to just play, like Draven, and then we go bot lane every game. Like we kind of can put like AD carry mid and do stuff, or leave AD carry side lane and push up and do stuff. So for me, I still think it's the same as week 1, where I like the change a lot.
All right, no regrets then, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you so much for this very insight interview. It was really cool. And yeah, if you guys want to check out more stuff, theScoreEsports.com. Visit our website, download the app, watch a few interviews, and yeah, see you guys next time.